Hi guys, this is Nenad from Minitpms and I want to shoot a little video for you so you can see our progress and where we are standing right now. I know we are delayed, but I think we're making good progress now and soon there will going to be some real stuff for you to test as well. So let's start with the okay. This is some kind of temporary dashboard for projects and components. This is sorry. This is the component of the project. You can switch projects here to your liking. Here's some example of already filled in this part here. This is going to be visually fixed. I know it doesn't look nice right now. So you have your languages here. There's going to be a part here probably with source language indication. This is the workflow. We're going to get to this. You can add a new vendor for your component if you want, and of course you can edit the volume if it has to be edited. So and of course you can change languages and everything is different editing. These are the people who are editing the same documents and review, etc. But let's say you get a new, completely new client. Right now we don't have the super fast thing for entering projects, the thing that I wanted to make, but we will be working on it. Right now everything is a little bit slower, but trust me, it's going to be very fast in the end. So let's say you get a completely new end client and a completely new LSP to set up. So we will start with that. So you go to settings, businesses. I know this is maybe a little bit confusing, but we were going to change this terminology. Sorry, we were going to change this terminology to something better. Anyway, so let's say that your new client is an LSP called Elephant, so we're going to call it LSP Big Elephant client. You see, I already started to. No, I'm sorry, not end client. Big Elephant language service provider. You can put website registration number. Let's say that your status is active. You can set description, basic financial data like currency, let's say euro, payment terms, etc. I'm gonna just put something here, whatever, Antarctica, because I think it's needed right now, but we're gonna change that. Country again. Okay, so let's say circus 1. Save. Okay, so we have LELSP, which is active now. Let's say that you get a project for Acme Chemicals, that you do some pharma work from them, so you have to set up an end client as well. You got here, and for end client you only have like this short name and name. So let's say Acme Chemicals, full name Acme Chemicals Limited Liability Company. Okay, save that. So you have Acme Chemicals without description, but it doesn't matter. If you want to change it, of course you can. Acme Chemicals deals with pharma whatever. That's okay enough. So here you have it, and now you can set up a project. So we go to projects, new project. You select you select LE LSP. I have Acme here, but this is a different Acme. Okay, this is a Acme that is an end client as well. TLC, just we're gonna change that to LSP as well. But actually, TLC for us was better because these here up can be also your end client. So for example, if LE is the end client, you just click here and then the end client disappears. But let's stick to the plan. So LE, LSP, Acme Chemicals, and let's say you do legal translation for them. You just the code name is just a huge like a combination, like a grouping name for more similar jobs. So let's say description, you can enter it but you don't have to, but so let's say legal translation for Acme. Members are the members of the company, which there are none because we didn't establish any. Managers are your own project managers. So let's say David is your project manager. Industry, whatever, we can put attorney, law firms. This list will be pretty much reduced. Right now we just have some, test data, special instructions, whatever, you can write them. They like receiving a card on Christmas. Okay, you save that. So you have a project set up for LE and Acme Chemicals for legal translation. Anytime you get a new legal translation for Acme Chemicals from LELSP, you pick this project and you say you want to add new components. So let's say new component, and then you go like let's say that this is what should it be, safety instructions. Component is document. Now here you can choose workflow. I already have established one kind of translation legal review, but I don't have I actually don't have legal translation, so let's make that component first. Sorry, so that workflow first. So after we fix all this, there's gonna be a plus sign here somewhere, so you can add workflow from here. But right now, let's go to the menu and workflows and say we want to create a new workflow. The workflow name is legal translation, and the description is just the same, legal translation. So this is pretty sexy, a sexy feature. Now you have the available tasks and you have to drag them to this bottom part, which will later show it better, but right now it works like this. So you move like you want to translate this, and for example, all you need is then just like legal review, so that somebody from the legal department checks that. Now invoice task, it means that when you get a task from client, like for example you get a task for translation, for legal translation like this, you charge them only translation, so you don't have to charge them legal review as well. You can if you want to. It will be important later in the finances, but you don't need to. Okay, so let's save this workflow and go back to the projects So Acme Chemical legal translation, new component. What was it? Safety instructions, component type document, workflow legal translation, source from English to, let's say, French and German. We're gonna start now, and the due date is, let's say, in 2 weeks from now at whatever, 2045. That's okay. Again, you can choose members, but there are none because we didn't establish any. And your managers, you already said that David is your manager, but you can now, override that if somebody else has to work with that. So let's say it's Istvan now and Dorocha. They both want to work with this. And special instructions, please treat this with confidentiality. Okay, and then you save it, and you have the component successfully created, and then you have your client volumes, which you can enter here. So if it's words, this I'm gonna explain this later. Word fields is not the best wording here, but we're gonna change that. Basically, if there's unit type is like pages, then you enter just like 25 pages. But if it's words, then you have total amount, weighted amount, untranslated amount, etc. These unit types you can set up your own. I will show you how. So let's say this is 25 pages for your clients. The start date, due date is not perfect. It doesn't work, and the save button also doesn't work. But I think you get the I think you get the overall impression, and then you do the same. This is English to French, and then you do the same for English to German. You add vendors. The vendors are still not filtered. We're working on that. And when you have your whole project created normally, then it looks something like, let's say, Tiger LSP Evil Corp. So then it looks something like this. You see the amounts, you see the target languages, vendors, vendor units, start, due date, when did they finish. Here you can check it's not finished yet. We are working on it. If you click this checkbox, then it means that the Reka vendor has finished the work, and then date end will be automatically populated. So this is it for the projects. I'm going to show you these units and fields. So basically, you have our page and Word right now for units, and then fields. You have quantity that we're using for pages. You have these three: total amount, untranslated, and weighted, that we're using for projects that use words for unit, because I mean you don't need to use all of these. You can just delete it probably, or anyway you will have to set up your own. But the trick is so that input groups, and then you can basically create input groups of whatever you want. Okay, now I want to show you vendor companies. Obviously you have vendors. Let me just find that. Users, vendors. These are the vendors that are like pre-populated. You see here there's a company, no data. So let's say that let's check out with Lena what's going on. Elena vendor, she's Hungarian native, translates, okay, from let's say from English to German and from English to Hungarian. She has specializations with grammar and dogs. We use Office and Photoshop, whatever. You can choose here whether she's a freelancer, as it is now, or if she's a company, as I will show you right now how it is done. So anyway, English, German, English, Hungarian, etc. Let's save her. I hope it works. Yes. Okay. So let's go back to settings, and now we go to companies. Companies. This is vendor companies. So let's say that you have one big vendor company working for you, and they have 3 people inside. So you want obviously to add those people to the same company. And now let's create this company. Let's say big vendor company limited. You see, I already have this, like BVCL, right? Yes. Bank account, account number. I don't know if the address is required here. Yes. Okay. We're working on it. It won't be. Let's say that they're from United Kingdom, from London, ABC 123, London Street 1. Okay, so now you have big vendor company limited with 0 vendors inside. Later we're gonna make much easier to add vendors directly here, but right now you can go to users, vendors, and let's say whatever. So for example, Reka is working for, she's German. Let's add capability because this is a must. So let's say she's translating from English to German and from French to German. Of course, you can. There's gonna be a lot more languages, obviously here. Specializations is like in math and industry, software, doesn't matter. And we can check now that she's a part of a company, and you choose a company like BVCL. And you save it, and then you see Reka vendor is in big vendor company limited. Currency, etc. You can actually ignore currency because the currency will be set up with this company in their financial data. Okay, so that's one of the things. You can add another person to this. Let's say Margit is also working for big vendor company. She's French. So let's say she translates to Hungarian and from Hungarian to French as well. So sort of bilingual. You don't have to pick specialization softwares, etc. There's going to be a lot more data later, but right now this is enough for start. So now you see big vendor company limited. These 2 vendors are here, and now if you go to settings, companies, vendor count, you have 2 vendors here. Let's go and create some really complex workflow. Now we have, workflow that's the usual T. This is actually tab, so let's change that to tab. TEP, translation, editing, proofreading. Click. Okay. So translation, edit, review. You want to remove review probably, and we want to add proofread, but we don't have it here in available task, which means that this task doesn't exist yet. So let's create that. Task name, proofreading, description, the usual proofreading. instructions. No, there's no need for instructions. Okay, so again, it reloaded the page, but now you have proofreading again. So remove review and add proofreading to the end. You can, you can change the position of these as you like. Translation, editing, proofreading. Let's rename it to TEP. The usual TEP workflow. Okay, save. Now, you remember that it was called Translation Editing Review, TER. And if we go to projects, this is also, I think, pretty much important. At least for us it is. So let's go with some project that already has a established. I think this one, for example, project 1 help. You see, the workflow of this project is not changed, even though we changed the workflow itself. It's because this is stored separately. Okay, so you cannot actually, if you change the workflow name, etc., something is completely different. You cannot destroy your current workflows. This is, I think, important. And when you're creating a new project, then you will be sorry, new component, for example, for this, then you will be able to choose tab, and it will be translation editing and proofreading as it is set up now. Okay, one more thing. Let's say that you get another Acme Chemicals legal translation from Ellie, but you forgot that you actually have this project already set up, so you want to create a new project, and you go like Ellie, LSP, Acme Chemicals, legal translation. When you want to save it, it's going to say that the code name has already been taken. Actually, what it will do is it will take you to the project page immediately, and if everything is true, the same works for components. So let's try that. New component, test, translation, type, document, workflow, tab, English to German. Let's forget about the dates, save. Yes, so the same goes. So you cannot have duplicates. This is very important. Actually, here the software will ask you if you want to have this duplicated or not, but the projects cannot be duplicated, and we like it when there's no duplication, so everything is, in the same component. And if you have another language, you can just add, for example, you get German and Hungarian, and you save it, and you see it's added. So you go inside, here's French, German, and Hungarian as well. Of course, nothing has any records or client volumes, amounts, etc., because this has to be added, but this is basically okay. So this is basically it for now. What we have, there's a lot of things going on right now. I just wanted to show you where we stand. In probably 1 week I'm gonna shoot another video and show you much more, and I hope that soon I will be able to give you a real software to try on your own, so you can test it a little bit before you start using it with the live data. Okay, so if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I'm still Nenad at Minitpms, and talk to you soon. Bye.